Hey, y'all, welcome back to In the Blind podcast. My name is Eric Gunnarsson. This is my co-host, Stephen Barker-Lyles.
Hi, I'm back.
We are Love and Theft, and we're live here from our studio at Riley Green's Duck Blind in Midtown. Today we were joined by a good friend, somebody we've known for quite a while, and someone that's an incredible artist and talent, and we're honored to have her with us today, Miss Kylie Frey.
Hello.
Yay,
Hello.
welcome.
How's it going?
Going good.
Super good.
We appreciate you joining us
Yeah,
today.
this is so fun.
Thank you.
I can't believe I'm this is technically working today.
Yeah,
Just come in this is so comfortable.
So fun, good.
Yeah.
And it's in a somewhat familiar place. I feel
It
like we've all
is.
spent a lot of time in this building
Oh
over
my
the
gosh.
years.
Yeah, when I came and played what was it, a couple of weeks ago? I don't know, it just brought back so many memories because I worked with Irv for
Right.
6 years, and he came out and saw me at Whiskey Jam. That was my audition for him.
Yeah.
And he sat behind that bar and watched me.
That's
and
cool.
his driver was just going on about he never comes out on a Monday.
Yeah.
He must be something special because we never go out on Monday.
Yep.
And
That's
so yeah, really cool memories.
That's a good
yeah.
Who's the driver? Jeff?
Jeff.
Yeah.
Yes. Driver Jeff.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
He was always around. He's a staple.
Yes. I miss him.
Yeah, he's an awesome,
Yeah.
awesome guy. So how was that working with Irv for those years? I mean, such a legend in the business.
Yeah.
And to have somebody with that kind of clout really see you, love you, get behind
Yeah.
you, and fight tooth and nail for you. I mean, it was fun to watch from my
Yes.
perspective.
He definitely, I feel taught me patience. He was never quick to do anything in the best way possible. He was always really intentional. If you brought something up to him, he would take a day or two and really think about it and not give a super long response. But I don't know, he was just always really intentional with every little detail. Yeah, I think that was my biggest takeaway from working with him. And yeah, just such a legend. I'm just, yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
one
it was
thing
incredible.
I loved back then, just coming here, just hang
Yeah.
out and see Irv. I mean,
Exactly.
he was such a legend, but then also just a staple around here.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of synonymous with Losers and the brand. I mean,
Yeah.
built it for years with
Yep.
Steve, so it was always fun to come here, get to hang out with him, and just hear some of his stories. I mean, the guy
Yeah.
is one of the best storytellers and had some amazing ones. So
Truly. Yeah.
it was always fun to sit with him and just kind of try to glean whatever little bit of insight.
Yeah,
I
just
could.
soak it in.
Yeah.
Just drink a beer and just okay, whatever he wants to talk about right now.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna sit here and just let him talk, because I don't know, it not very often I feel do many people get to hang out with living legends.
Yeah.
And for me, that's probably my only experience of getting to do that was with him. And
Yeah.
I was always so intimidated by him because Alan was my guy.
Yeah.
And so but I remember the first time I was standing at the bar at Losers, and this was my first time hanging out with him, and we were at his spot where he always stood and held court. He's Kylie, he's do you want a drink? And I was Irv, it's I think so. I was I'll take a Michelob Ultra. And he just looked at me, and he just looked down, and he shook his head, and he looked back up at me. He's Kylie, he's no one likes a chicken shit. And I was all right, Irv, we're drinking whiskey. And so it just kind of broke the ice for me. It
That's
felt
cool.
like my South Louisiana family. And so, yeah.
Yeah, what was
really
his
cool.
drink? Cuddy?
Cuddy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I met him, let's see, this was my first year that I was a flag girl at the NFR. Losers was a temp in Vegas, so they were testing it out at MGM.
Okay.
That's when I first met Irv. I have a dear friend of mine. His name's Billy Carnes. He runs the Resistol brand,
that's cool.
Yeah.
marketing, and he designs for them. And so when I rodeoed in high school, I was on the Resistol rodeo team. And and I always kept in touch with Bill because Bill is really good friends with Enzo DiVincenzo. And so he always would brag about my best friend manages Lee Bryce and Leanne Womack and all this stuff. And I was
Right.
well, I'm going to stay friends with you. And so, and I did. And when I was a flag girl, I remember him calling me one night and he was like, Kylie, I don't know where you are. He's like, but you need to get in a cab and come to the MGM and I'm going to introduce you to Irv. Like, this is your shot. Like, come on. And so I did that. I think I was like across town. I think I was at South Point. And I was like, girls, we got to go. And so I showed up to Losers and I met Irv and Alan and Billy introduced me and I got back to Nashville and I did some digging and I found out that his favorite drink was Cuddy. Yep. And so I bought a bottle of Cuddy and I dropped off the Cuddy and a CD and my business card to his office when I got back.
I don't even know what Cuddy is. What's Cuddy?
It's
brown.
Is
whiskey,
it bourbon?
Yeah, it's a bourbon, yeah.
Is it a bourbon or a...
I don't know if it's a bourbon or just a whiskey, but that was just what...
I have no idea. I've had it with him. It's really good. But yeah, it's very like no one else drinks it, right?
Well, my wife bartended here for years, and
really?
always would make his drink for him.
Yeah.
So, like, I just remember her saying that over the years. Like,
yeah.
You know, make this for Steve, make this for Irv.
Yep.
And I just always remember it being such a unique thing, like not hearing a lot of people drink it.
Exactly. Do they even sell it over here? Or did they just keep a bottle in the back for him?
I don't know. I really, that's a good question.
That is a great question.
I'm sure that
because I never ordered it if I wasn't like with Irv. Yeah. So, yeah.
I mean, I'd never heard of it.
Yeah.
So, like,
and you're pretty familiar with the drinks.
You maybe would have had it one night and didn't realize that you had it. I've had a couple of those nights here.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, I'm sure there was a night where I was like, yeah, I'll just have what he's having.
Yeah, exactly.
Emily was like, okay,
no questions.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's cool. So you said you met him when you were rodeoing and you were a flag girl. I know that rodeo is a huge part of your coming up and your history. And
what was that?
I know, like it's synonymous kind of with country music, in my opinion. Like, you go out to NFR, you go to PBR, any of the stuff. There's always country music associated with it. And
yep.
You know, it seems just like a match made in heaven.
Totally.
So is that a natural progression for you to go from that to the music side of it?
Kind of, yeah. Like, I always thought that I would college rodeo and, like, that would just be it. Like, I love to sing. I would sing the anthem for all the rodeos and stuff that I was entered in. But I never really thought that I was good enough to, like, you know, be the person on stage doing it. Like, and so... I don't know. I won my state championship in goat tying in my sophomore year.
Dang,
yeah,
that's sick.
Yeah, and listen, I'm not very athletic, and so it took like a lot of hard work and a lot of determination and a lot of just like visualizing. And it felt really good. Like, as a sophomore, my sister was a senior that year, and so like I beat out all of her and her friends for the state championship that year.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Were some of them mad at you?
My sister, definitely.
Yeah,
so the year before, when I was a freshman, so they only take 4 spots to nationals, and so I ended up getting the 5th hole, like barely. Like I barely missed out. I think I was like 2 or 3 points out of 4th hole, but my sister got in 4th hole, and so my parents were like, woof, if we would have had to take Kylie to nationals and not Caitlin, that would have been pretty miserable. But it all worked out. So she went and goat tying that year, and then I was a state rodeo queen that year. And so we both got to just do our own thing. And then the next year, I think she kind of snuck in the 4th hole again, and I won it. But we had my sister's friends were 2nd and 3rd, and I don't think I was their favorite person that year. But I kind of peaked in rodeo at that moment. Like, once I won my state championship, and then there was another girl that came behind me. We actually shared a horse because both of our dads were like, they refused to spend money on goat tying horses because goat tying horses like just run a straight line. Like, that's all they do. And so it doesn't take a whole lot. And so but I really love this horse. She loved this horse. We had the same goat tying coach, and so our dads were like, all right, we'll split it. We'll split the feed, all the vet bills, all the stuff. So we rode the same horse, and I knew that she was just a force, and she was coming up behind me. And man, she's broken a lot of records. Her name's Mia Manzanero. She's insane.
She's still doing it?
No, but she rodeoed all through college. She won some like college I think she won college
Well,
nationals.
you got her.
a
You
time or
got her
two.
that day.
It's insane. Like she's a freak, and so I knew it was like she's coming. There's some other like really talented girls, and like I had like really like started leaning into music that point. So yeah, that was my sophomore year, and then like the end of that summer, I went to a songwriters festival in Pensacola, Florida, and I saw three ladies play. Let me see if I can remember their names. Shelly Tackett, I think Annie Mosier or something like that. But the one that really blew me away was a lady named Lisa Carver, and she like sang these songs like murder ballads, and
Cool.
murder, like I wanted to have nightmares, like but I could
All
see
of her songs were like that?
she had a handful of murder ballads. Like I'll have to send them to you.
Nice.
They're
At least
amazing.
she knows her niche.
Yes, and then then she had some other songs that like made you laugh and like made you cry, and like it was like every emotion under the sun. Like I felt it like within that hour, and yeah, I just like during that show I was like, this is what I'm gonna do.
Nice.
And I'd already started like writing songs at that point, but I didn't have like that experience yet, and so yeah, my heart just kind of like switched up on me like junior year, and I really leaned hard into that. I did rodeo my junior year and my senior year. I wish that I would have not like given up so soon. Like I wish I would have like stuck with it. I was gonna compete again for like another queen title my junior year, and then I decided against that because I was gonna be country music star, and so
what kind of commitment is it like for people that don't know, like to be rodeo queen? Like what do you have to do? Like what boxes do you have to check? Is it like a whole like campaign or is
so it's like essentially the same thing as any other like beauty pageant, except you wear Wranglers that are dyed, and like whatever color your top is, you dye your jeans to match it.
Everyone.
Yes. It's gotten a little bit more progressive since I was in the game. But like we had like 80s hair. Like I would set off the smoke alarm in our horse trailer doing my hair because I like it had to crunch.
Had to tease it and get it all.
Oh my gosh, it was awful. But yeah, I mean it's a beauty pageant except like you're a cowgirl, and there's like a horsemanship part of it, and then you have to take a test on the rule book. Yeah, at least for like high school rodeo, that's what it was. And so but it's funny because like we had some girls who came and were like, you could tell they came from the pageant world and kind of learned how to ride a horse to do it. And I was the opposite. Like my dad hated it. He was like, oh my gosh, more rhinestones and hairspray, and like, can we just get on with it? Like but I wanted to do it, and I'm so glad that I did, because like I can interview now, no problem. Like I had to give speeches and do interviews and like all kind of crazy stuff, and it really like transferred over to what I'm doing now. Yeah.
What kind of ceiling is there for, let's just say, females in rodeo? Like post college, post high school. Like,
that's a great question, Eric.
How do you,
that is a good question.
get up through the ranks? And
Part of the reason why I'm doing this instead of like still in the rodeo world is because I was never a good barrel racer. Like I was a horrible barrel racer. You put me on the best horse possible, I'm gonna screw it up in like 2 seconds. And so like barrel racing, like you can be a barrel racer for the rest of your life.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty incredible. And then you can train horses, you can breed, you can do a lot. My aunt and my cousin, they breed horses and they train them, and she'll make a run for NFR at some point.
That's cool.
But yeah, for women, if you're not in the barrel racing world, then there's really not much of a future in it, like you kind of just have to do it for the love of it.
Are like, what's the deal with females in bull riding? They don't like, they just don't let them do it.
It's not a thing.
Okay, so
that sounds like
there's a
exciting.
Netflix series. I've been wanting to write a song about this.
Do it.
So there's a girl, her name's Jordan Halverson, and do you guys know Dale Brisby?
I've heard the name.
Yeah. So he's, I guess, technically like a comedy act, but he comes from the rodeo world, and he has a ranch and a podcast and all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But she works on his ranch, and she's a female bull rider,
Hmm.
and like she's awesome, and she's like
Really?
actually straight. Like she
Right.
has a boyfriend and everything. I'm like, this is amazing. But she looks like a
She's
softball
actually
player.
straight.
Like
I
you
know
would,
what you mean.
Right.
you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
No, for
And
sure.
so
Takes a special type of woman to ride a bull. in
it
my
does.
opinion.
It does. And but she has a Netflix show. I forget what it's called. But they're out there, but they're like very few and far in between.
Is there a circuit that they can get on, or they
Yeah,
have to
there's
ride
like a
with the
women's pro
guys?
rodeo
Okay.
circuit, but it's not nearly as big as like your typical like PRCA.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, she could probably ride the same bulls, right?
Yes.
As dudes.
She's amazing.
They just won't let her in because it's the big boys club or what?
Yeah.
That's messed up, man.
Yeah. Well, like you
Let
know,
her
rodeo's
ride.
pretty old school, and so I don't know. I don't really know what the rules are like for women. I just don't think that you can do it. Maybe you can. I could be wrong on this.
Because, like,
Other than barrel racing, and then they've started breakaway roping, but it's not in the actual lineup of events at NFR. It's like its own thing,
separate
but it's
type thing that's
technically
sort of
still
included.
yes. I hope that one day it'll be a part of
I mean, if
the
she
big
can
rodeo.
ride the
but
same bulls and stay on the same length of time, then you should be able to do it.
yeah,
I mean,
but also it's like I think that like in the show they ride like smaller bulls. Like I don't know.
interesting.
I have no idea.
It's bull riding's always been so intriguing to me because you can see a
Yeah.
beast of a dude get on a bull
Uh-huh.
and get just thrashed, and then you watch
Yeah.
some tiny little guy just ride, get his full 8 seconds or whatever, however
Yeah.
it works, and then hops off, acts like it was nothing. And I guess it all depends on the beast you're riding
The
too.
smaller dudes definitely have an advantage in the rough stock events.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah.
One of the funnier things that Eric and I thought it was funnier. The competition, we played a show at a rodeo, and I'd never seen it before, where the competition where they put like a smaller bull in the pen and everyone's inside of a circle of chalk, and like the last one to leave the chalk wins all the money or
Yeah.
whatever. That was
Yeah,
hilarious.
we watched one person
That's
literally
awesome.
get thrown like
he
15 feet
wasn't
in the
leaving
air.
his
Like,
spot. He
I
got
mean, this
knocked
bull just
out.
came right at him,
Uh-uh.
and he flipped up in the air like 4 or 5 times, hit the ground, looked unconscious, and then like sat up, and, and the bull's coming right for him again.
Is that like a staple thing they do at most rodeos?
So,
or
like-
I feel like the insurance for that should be pretty like.
Surely. I don't know how it works, but like each rodeo like kind of has their own thing that they'll do like in between events that like just your typical people in the town can do,
Yeah.
like buddy barrel pickup. Have y'all seen that?
No, what's
Yeah,
that?
so it's when like one person like stands on a barrel at the end of the arena, and then another person is on a horse and like runs down the arena and turns around the barrel,
You have to like swing up,
and you
onto
have
it.
to just jump on the back of the horse. And most of the time it
While it's
doesn't.
running fast.
Yes, while it's running. Yes.
That's awesome.
We used to do that, me and my neighbor, Sloan. We would do buddy barrel pickup on a little tiny Shetland pony named Boudin. It was so fun.
That is fun.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Well,
But like, yeah, each rodeo I think like does their own. Like, there's like mutton busting where
Yeah.
like little kids can get on sheep.
I've seen that. That's fun.
Yes. Oh, I can't wait till my
like
kid
we
can do
went
that.
to one in Oregon, and they had Indian bareback races, and it was
Oh,
like these like
fun.
all in their
I never
Indian
got to
get up
go.
and like their official stuff, and literally just bareback, just painted in their full on garb.
I love
and
it.
it was so cool. Just
Wow.
watching these dudes just fly around doing crazy stuff, and
See,
all
and
bareback,
I've
too.
never seen that. Like,
Really?
yeah, each rodeo just kind of does its own thing in between like your typical events that I think is just so cool.
Yeah, because we had a friend who was like, dude, you got to go and you got to see this
Yeah.
part of it. I'm like, okay, I've never heard of it before, but if you're that jacked up about it, we got to see this.
Yeah, that's
And,
awesome.
like, we made it in time for, I think I saw the last
I
one.
didn't
I
see
think
it.
you were still inside getting a drink or something, but
Yeah.
it was really cool.
Nice.
Yeah, our first little experience with rodeo, we were managed at the beginning of our career by Mark Miller from Sawyer Brown.
No kidding.
Yeah, and he had these 2 girls that were trying to be, came from rodeo, and they were trying to make it as a sister duo. And I think her names are Tara and Teal Twisselman.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently they're from
Really?
California, and they've,
Yeah.
their whole family is like huge in rodeo out there.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
they raise bulls and whatnot and bring them to all the different rodeos. But it was always fun to
Huh.
hear like them talk about it, and it was
Yeah.
like that was their lifestyle. It wasn't just something they did. Like their entire family did it.
Yeah.
Like every generation. They all lived in the same compound out on
Yeah.
all this land out there, and it's like literally
Yeah.
they like it's eat, breathe, sleep rodeo.
Yeah.
And I just had never even experienced that. Like my grandfather worked in rodeo and did some stuff and like told me stories as a kid. That was the most I'd ever heard of it. And then
Yeah.
to realize like, yeah, people make their living, people live their life. I mean, it's
Yep.
it's an all-encompassing, consuming thing that I just was never
Yeah.
even aware of.
Exactly. It's like if you're gonna rodeo, like you gotta. That's all you do.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
we're playing NFR this year, are we? Or are we
Yeah,
not? I
think
saw
so,
it as tentative,
Nice.
but I
Yeah.
didn't know if that was.
Yeah,
for
it's always
sure.
fun to go out there for it. Just
I love it.
Just
Yeah.
the culture of all the cowboys you see walking around the
Yep.
casinos, and we're in there. You get on the elevator at the end of the night, and there's a bunch of smelly cowboys in there with their
Yeah.
leather bags over their shoulders and their
Yeah.
cowboy hats,
Yeah,
limping around. I'm like,
unless-
oh, you look like you rode a bull tonight.
Unless the venue you're playing at puts you on during the main bull riding event and doesn't wait for them to get finished and leave the arena.
Don't
So,
you love that?
I was like,
Yeah.
can't we just wait 30 minutes?
Yeah.
Like, they're all right. We were connected to where the arena was, and we're like right there. They're all gonna come right here and drink. Like,
Yeah. Don't you love when you show up and it's like this could be done in a way that makes
Yeah.
a lot more sense, but I'm
Uh-huh.
just paid to be here and sing.
Yeah,
and
NFR is such a wild thing anyway. It's like there's so many different concerts, so many
Yeah.
shows,
Oh my
something
gosh.
like
it's
there's-
really caught on. I mean, I've gone out there for the last 10 years. I think this will probably be my first year in 10 years that I have not gone out
Really?
there. Yeah.
where aren't you going?
Well, it's been a year. It's been a year, and I don't have a booking agent at the moment. And I could pull some things together.
Yeah,
But
I
it's-
guarantee
it's-
you could. It's
I could.
taking a year
I
off.
know a lot of people. I've done it all out there. But I just sort of feel like I need to get started on my record.
That's good.
And yeah, it's been a whiplash of like a last year and a half.
you had a baby, right?
I had a baby. Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And that
that's
changes
awesome.
everything, does it not?
It changes everything. And it's made it a lot harder, but also it's like it's made me like really get my shit together and
That's
like
good.
yeah, like I'm so much more intentional about everything that I do, but yeah, long story short, I left my management in January, and then my booking agent had switched agencies around that time, which I adore him and he's great. But I like pumped the brakes on going on with him to this new agency because I was like, I kind of need to just like get my stuff together real quick. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't want to start anywhere with like not a whole lot going on. And so I was like, let me get back to you and I can like find new management, do the whole deal. And then my business manager quit on me. So this was all like in a matter of like a couple of weeks.
That's the worst.
And
We had our business manager quit. I never even
Yeah, of
know.
all the pieces of your career, it's like you look at that one, and it's like that's my
it's huge.
solid rock. That's the thing that's not going to
Exactly.
go away, and that goes away, and it uproots everything.
Everything.
I'm like, I don't even know. I've never even done taxes.
Yeah. Exactly. I know. I'm so spoiled. I'm like, I have to keep track of what now?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like,
But I wasn't keeping track of this before, and you guys were still getting it done.
Right,
so
right,
what's the
right.
disconnect here? And
Yeah.
why doesn't that service still exist in that capacity?
yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
frustrating for sure.
So that like all of that happening and then like becoming a first time mom and it was just a lot. And I'm honestly shocked. Like I put out music last week and I'm so shocked that I was able to do that. Like
Really?
it's been 6 months and I'm like the fact that I've been able to sort of like not fully rebuild, but like rebuild enough to put out music that I was sitting on. I've just, oh my God, it was such a great day. Like normally I'm just kind of like nervous and I'm like in my head on like release days because I'm like, what's this gonna do or whatever. But like Friday I was like, this is awesome. I mean, the fact that I put out music is
Yeah.
like a miracle. And the fact that I didn't just move to Louisiana and start selling boudin, like
Yeah.
I'm here, and
Good for you.
I know what I want to do next, and it feels good. So I'm not going to NFR this year. I say that maybe I'll pull something off
Yeah.
last minute. Who knows?
I skipped the Songwriters Festival in Key West this year, so I get it. Sometimes you gotta skip stuff.
Sometimes you got to skip stuff. Yes. So, but it's just like I'm just learning. Like the more that you try to like force things to happen, it's just not the move.
Yeah.
So yeah,
you.
I've been writing a lot.
Awesome.
And I've been writing by myself a lot. And I have like 8 songs that I'm sitting on. Um, that I'm about to like get in the studio and start recording, and it's going to be pretty different from anything I've done before. And I don't know. It may do nothing for me, but like this record is definitely going to be me processing, like, you know, just going from like living on the road,
Yeah.
like opening for everyone, like really feeling like I had something going, essentially like not no responsibilities, but kind of like doing the thing to like I'm full on domestic now, you know. And my fiance now, but I mean he was my boyfriend, and I'm like not original at all. I was just dating my guitar player, and and so like him going from like us just being gypsies living on the road, it's true, and now he's like working a corporate job, and like
Right.
thankfully I still have my publishing deal. And so that's kind of what's kept me in the game, but I'm just like, all right, it's time to make this man a bus dad, you know, like. So yeah, that's
awesome.
where I'm at, and I don't even know how I got there, but
Yeah. Well, I think that's a beautiful thing about this business. It's like you can come into it, you can have, your list of goals laid out
Yep.
in front of you, and as you check off those boxes, I mean, your goals obviously change, and
Yeah.
you change as a human being. I mean,
exactly, yeah.
Love it or hate it, like you got hormones,
Yeah.
like it's like
Yeah.
you get to a point you want to have a kid, and it's like,
Yes.
okay, do I subject my child to this life on the road with
Right.
my fiance? Like,
Yeah.
is this the life we want to live, or is this the way we want to go? And then they're gonna hang out at home, and I'm gonna go on the road, and it's I
Yeah.
don't think people realize the stress, especially on a woman in this business.
Yeah.
It's like, well, okay, you got to look perfect, you got to have the perfect songs, you got to have
Yeah.
this, you got to be buttoned up, and then you got to be a mom too. But we don't necessarily want to see that side of it. You need
Sure.
to keep that buttoned up into
Yeah.
yourself. It's like
Yeah.
there's a lot of added pressure, I think,
Yeah.
on women, and then I think it forces you to really overthink things. And it's like, okay, is this the right
100%.
time? Like,
Yeah.
and if we're honest, there's never a right time in this
Yeah.
business, because if you try to plan out
Exactly.
what's going to happen, you're just
Yeah.
going to be waiting for the rest of your life. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a hard business to navigate, and then you throw kids into the mix, it's even harder. So
Well,
are you finding that it's
Yeah.
harder, or you're just having to completely reinvent yourself as an artist and what it is that you want to do?
Yes. I never thought about having kids. Like that's like what Joe and I like really got along. Like in the beginning it was like, okay, neither of us like plan on like having kids at any point. So it's like, okay, cool. Like we see eye to eye on that. Like that's great. Like we both have a bunch of nieces and nephews. It's like no pressure was put on us for that. And so it was something that was truly unplanned, and it rocked my world, because I was like, you either, have babies and join the family business and, you go that route, or I could go play country music and like that's it, which I was totally okay with. And so, yeah, it'll really test your faith, and and I'm like, this is not something I wanted, but like I knew what I was getting myself into, like, and so yeah, I'm a mom now, and let's figure it out. And I really did think I was gonna have to move home, but luckily my family's been very supportive. Joe has been amazing. I mean, like, the first thing he said to me was like, if I need to just stay home for a few years and go and sell houses and make sure he's fed while you get this thing off the ground, that's what I'll do.
That's
and
awesome.
yeah, he's been a rock throughout all of this. And in his family, he's got 5 sisters, and they were a bluegrass band.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and so they were in the movie "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou" They weren't in the movie. They were the voices of the little girls
that's
in the
cool.
movie. And so they were on that tour pretty young. And so anyway,
as a family.
As a family, yeah. And then they just kept touring from there. Yeah. And so his mom was like, listen, she's like, I know I wasn't the one on stage. She's like, but I had 6 kids out on the road. And she's like, we did it. She's like, you can do it with one, you know? And so, yeah, I've got a great support system, and it's difficult, but I'm still here.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
And, you know, truly it's been like one day at a time. But like you said, I mean, I'm having to like reinvent the way that I approach this, because like he does need me. Like he's 14 months, you know, like he needs his mom. And so, you know, we take him out on the road when I do have dates that I've been booking myself, and he just either comes with us or he'll stay back a couple of days at a time, and get spoiled by grandparents, you know.
That's nice. You have help.
Yeah. So
I think it's great also for kids to grow up in different environments.
totally.
I mean,
Yes.
you know, you see some kids that it's like
Yeah.
they're never disrupted at all, and like
Yeah.
they have things perfect, and then they're kind of,
Yeah.
it turns you into a little softy that
Yeah.
you know, expects things to be a certain way for your whole life. And
Mm-hmm.
I think like I was fortunate enough to grow up in some crazy cool situations, and you know, got to be in different parts of the world and stuff, and like I cherished that part
Those
of
are
my
your best memories.
upbringing, because
Yeah.
I got to experience things that none of my friends got to experience.
Yep.
And I got to see the world from a different perspective and have, you know, just a different opinion of things than everybody else had, just because I saw different things at a very young age. And I mean, anyone that's like, oh, I refuse to take my kid on the road and expose him to that, I'm like, why not?
Why?
Like,
Yeah.
it's only going to make them more socialized and
Totally.
you know, have a leg up on everybody else when it comes to
Yep.
dealing with people and dealing with uncomfortable situations. Like,
Yeah.
you know, imagine being in middle school and encountering your first, you know, traumatic situation. It's like, you know, it can almost be more traumatizing to not experience anything like that up until a certain point and then not know how to deal with it. So
Yeah.
I mean, I think it can go both ways, but
For sure. Yeah.
You know, I think it's cool that you're just, you know, flying by the seat of your pants and doing what works.
I
when it
do my
works.
best work flying by the seat of my
Hey.
pants, really. So, yeah. But like my best memories were on the road, like rodeo, and
Yeah.
you know, we traveled the country growing
So
up.
fun.
Yeah, and then Joe was the same way, like not rodeo, but with music,
Yeah.
you know. And he's like, I was 5 years old and hanging out with Bill, the lighting guy, you know.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, because you stayed in a trailer on the premises, probably, right? Or-
Exactly.
That's so fun.
yeah, all of my friends were like rodeo friends. Like I
Right.
have some friends from like middle school and high school, but like my friends are rodeo friends.
Yeah.
Oh, I have a funny story for y'all.
Yes, please.
Okay. So my very best friend, shout out to Becca.
Hey, Becca. Hey, girl. Hey.
So we went. I think I had just graduated. Yeah, I just graduated high school, and she married her high school sweetheart, and so we were always like 3 peas in a pod, right? So there was a concert in Beaumont, and she was like, hey, like we got these tickets, like, you know, let's go to this concert. And I was like, yeah, absolutely. And so Love and Theft was on the bill. And it was a Tim McGraw concert. I forgot who the other person was opening.
Was it a Lady
And
A
so
or-
and this was like when Angel Eyes was like, yeah, yeah.
So
I was
probably
your
Brantley-
demographic.
Brantley Gilbert.
Yes.
The middle act on that.
Exactly. That's
Okay,
exactly
yeah.
what it was. And so she's like, hey, like come to this concert or whatever. And so I was like, oh, hell yeah. Like, so I get to her house, and she and her husband did not like my boyfriend at the time. And so she made it seem like it was the 3 of us going to this concert. And then like, Cade had a friend that was like, oh, by the way, he's going to come with us now. And like, isn't he really cute? So they were like trying to set me up with this guy, like when I had a boyfriend
Oh wow.
at the Love and Theft concert.
That's
so.
fun. Yeah,
Oh,
a lot of
well.
people make new lovers at our concerts. It's kind of a thing.
Yeah, we like to think of ourselves as matchmakers.
Yeah,
so-
we
Yeah, well, I did not
So
date
I guess that one
guy.
did not work
I did
out.
not date
I
that
guess
guy,
we're not
but
matchmakers
It wasn't
after
the
all.
guy.
but the guy I was dating also did not end well either. So moral of the story, I guess when your best friend hates your boyfriend, you should probably listen to
Yeah.
that.
That's
yeah.
funny.
That's really
Yeah,
funny.
but I was like thinking back, it's because I knew I was coming on here. I was like, I forgot that happened.
That's
Because
Okay.
my
really
boyfriend
funny.
at the time was so mad.
Really?
I was like, why? Yeah, anyway.
That's really funny.
It was very funny. So.
Speaking of boyfriends, how did you meet your fiance?
Funny story. So I hired him to play bass. I called 34 bass players and no one. This was during COVID. So
Oh, okay.
yeah. This is very politically incorrect, but during
good.
COVID, I kind of like snuck in there. Like
Yeah.
I got to sing the anthem at the NFR for the first time because of that. And there were all of these like little. I say little. There were all these like honky tonks that like couldn't necessarily afford the like.
Right.
You know, the bigger acts, but like someone like me could come in there and play to half capacity, no problem. And so, call me if you want to lose money.
Right. Hey, we were right there with you. Like we were like, yeah, we'll play. Like, we're not doing anything.
Dude, and so like, it was hard to like find players at the time. And so anyway, Joe was one of those phone calls and I wanted to hire him to play guitar because he's a great guitar player, but I needed a bass player more.
Side note, so impressed you had 34 numbers to call for bass players. I'm like, I don't know if I know 34 bass players.
I didn't. I was just like, who do you know?
Everybody.
Like everyone and their mom, like send me numbers. It got down to like a couple of buddies of mine who I like do demos with. Their dad was like, Kylie, if you need me to come play bass on this, I'll come. Yeah.
Good
And
dads.
David is a killer bass player, but like he did not want to go to Iowa. You know what I mean? But he's like, if you really need me, I will hop in the van and go play bass for you.
Oh, that's awesome.
So Joe did, and so
call,
he came
Joe.
out. Yep. And so he played bass for me for a minute, and then we made out, and then I graduated him to guitar player.
Nice, yeah.
All right, so that's how it works. You
Yes,
gotta-
yes.
Try
That's the progression.
him out on
That's
bass.
how it works.
And if
yes.
you're a good kisser, you get moved to guitar.
Yes. And I swore that I would never do that. I was like kind of mortified because I was like, oh my gosh, like I'd never wanted to like date a musician. Like I didn't want to date anyone in the business, like because. But it's hard not to.
Because you're in the business.
Yeah, 'cause you're in the, yes. And so, luckily, like the one time that I crossed that line, it worked out for me. So that's good.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't have to get into a habit of dating all of
Yeah,
your guitar
thank-
players till
yeah.
you find the right
See,
one.
you
Yeah.
got something great out of the pandemic.
I did.
And they have a human.
Now I have a human. I do.
It's really cool.
Yeah. And
Well,
he's
he
awesome.
was an amazing player. I mean, when you guys played here, I was,
Yeah.
blown away by how tight y'all were. And
Thank you.
just-
Thank you.
It was really good.
Thanks.
So,
Yeah.
I'd
he's
seen you, I
awesome.
think, one other time with a different band, and it was still really good. But like this was, the best I'd ever heard you.
Cool.
I think. I mean, it's just, and you seem like super just in your element. Like I don't know how to describe it other than like you just seemed like you were having fun. There's
I
no
was
expectations,
that night.
no nothing. Just,
Yes, like I don't know what it was. I guess just we don't like really play full band in town a whole lot anymore. And so it's like go and play a festival, like whatever. I don't know. There's something about that night for me that I was just like.
Yeah.
Joe and I got home and I was just like, man, I miss being a honky tonk son of a bitch. Like this feels right,
Well,
you know.
It was really good.
Thank
Yeah, and that
you.
energy translated because I just remember sitting up there watching most of your entire set, and I had to
Yeah.
come back here and film something for a second. I was like, dang it, I don't
Yeah.
want to leave the room. But
Thank you.
yeah,
I feel
it
like
just seemed like you guys were having a
motherhood
blast.
has done that for me. It's like allowed me to like take myself even more seriously in a way, but then also like when it comes to the music, I'm just like genuinely so happy to like be out of the house and doing what
Yeah.
I love. It just
Yeah.
like makes it so much more fun for me now.
Yeah,
That's good.
Yeah,
That's really
it's
cool.
good. Its perspective is nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, and it's hard to maintain that perspective. I think when you're kind of in the thick of it, and just from my perspective, it's like things are going. It's like you have your
Yeah.
head down, you're just
Yeah.
grinding, doing the same thing. You start to take for granted nights like that where it's
Yeah.
like the music is there,
Yeah.
everybody's feeling it, but it's like you're almost already thinking about the next
The
one.
next
and
one,
then what's
yep.
the rest of the weekend look like, and what's the rest of the week
Are we
look like?
videoing
Yeah.
this? Yeah. Yeah.
There's so many things that you get
Yeah.
distracted from why we got
Totally.
into this, which is for the music and performing that art. And it frustrates me sometimes, especially in this day and age, to lose sight of that, and how quickly we all lose sight of that because of the other BS that we have to do. You
Yeah.
have to be a content creator now. You have to be an editor. You have to be
Yep.
X, Y, and Z. And if you're not all of those things,
I know.
somebody else has an advantage because maybe they figured it out and they're better at that. Maybe they're actually a
Yeah.
better video person than they are a musician, but they've just got the right.
Got it dialed in.
configuration
Yeah.
working for him at the moment. And
We
it's hard
had-
not to get frustrated and, just throw your hands up and be like, oh, you know what? Someone else is better at this than me. I'm just
Yeah.
going to let them do it. It's like, no, I need to fight for that spot too.
Exactly. And it's like, it doesn't come naturally to me to be like, oh, let me film myself blow drying my hair. You
Yeah.
know, like,
Yes.
I don't want people to see that. Like, but then I'm like, I see other girls do it. I'm like, that's so simple. And it, like,
Yeah.
doesn't take any time out of their life to
Yeah.
just set their phone up and,
And
press
just
record.
talk a little bit.
Yeah. And so I don't know. I have a hard time with it. And I had like a recent thought of like, I have so much empathy for like myself and like my, I guess, generation of artists like still doing it now. Like we very much like came, like I'm 30, and so like 10 years ago, like, we had social media, but like it wasn't like it is today. Like, it didn't consume you. And so I'm jealous. Like, I wish I would have been doing this 20 years ago and like I didn't have to worry about that. But then like now, like artists coming up that are in their 20s, like it's so second nature for them.
It's all they've ever known.
It's all they've ever known. And so like I feel like, my age group of people, like we're just kind of like caught in the middle. Like y'all are very much a part of that of like, we have to like conform to this thing, but then also like, I don't know, there's like the mystery of like the George Straits of the world where like I think he is so huge because they've kept him like so closed off from the world, and he's such a mystery and like a national treasure. So it's
Agreed.
like, but then you have to like pay bills and you want to get booked, and so it's like, okay, well, here's what I had for lunch. So
You're right.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a frustrating thing, and like we're 40, and so to be just 10 years removed from you also, and for us to feel the exact same way, but like even the first 10 years of our career were even so much different than it was 10 years ago. I remember having these conversations 10 years ago, like, gosh, this is changing fast. Like we thought the iTunes thing was going to change everything, and now we got the streaming stuff, and like you have to do. I remember like trying to get another deal after we had lost one of our other record deals, and like, okay, so the first few had been all about the songs, all about the music, all about your experience as an artist so far.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it's like, well, what's your streaming story? What's your social media numbers look like?
Yeah.
And if you don't have X, Y, and Z, we're not even gonna talk to you because there's these other up and comers that do have these numbers, and we're like, okay, first of all, this business hasn't even been this way for that long, so like, are you totally abandoning the old model? Or because you hear a lot of different things from managers, from labels, from different people. It's like, okay, well, this is the lane you need to get in, and you need to put your head down and stay here and just grind it out, and then trust me, all your efforts are going to pay off. And it's like, okay, well, the social media numbers aren't what you said they were going to be. If I did all of this stuff, what do we try now so we can go try to get another record deal?
What do we do with our MySpace page now?
Exactly. I mean, it's funny, but it's true. Like we're like, well, we got this thing; it's still doing well. We've got a million Facebook followers. Like, what does that mean? What do we do with that? Like, well, they're not active, and it's not your engagement's here, and it needs to be this. I'm like, all right, we did all this work to get this number to here, and now that's not good enough. It's just, it seems like they're always moving the goalposts. And unless you're, you have your ear to the ground, and you have the pulse of whatever's happening and how things are changing. It's like, unless you're that guy or that girl, how do you make it work?
It's so frustrating, but like one of the biggest blessings of like having everything without sounding too dramatic, but like having like everything that I thought that I built like ripped away from me in a minute, like I don't know, like really just made me just like get back to the basics of like, okay, at the end of the day, like we're all just chasing a great song, and like I try not to like come to town too much and drink and bullshit, because like then I'll start to overthink that stuff, like the numbers games and whatever, because I don't know, like I'm competitive in that, like I wanna play ball, but I don't know, like this season of life has just been like, let me just write the best damn song that I can write, and if I can't finish it myself, if I like have that thing in me that's like, no, I need to bring somebody in, then I'll bring somebody in, and like, but I don't know. I'm like, the stakes are high for me in a way that never had before, of like, before I just had to worry about myself,
Right.
and it didn't matter, and I could be here for the rest of my life and do it in whatever capacity, but like I really didn't have anything to worry about. I thought that was just my life.
Yeah.
And now it's like, well, I've got a soon to be husband, and I've got a baby who's has his own life, and I want him to be able to do whatever he wants to do. And so yeah, I'm just like, okay, if it doesn't work out for me, then it's not going to be because I didn't put my heart on the line.
Yeah.
Good.
And that's like, that's my headspace right now. And like, I sent this music over to so I work with Trent Willman on the production side,
that's
and
cool.
we've had a lot of fun. We've made some really cool songs come to life, and ones that I've written, a lot that I haven't written. And I was like so nervous to call him and play this music for him, because it's like, it's not our MO. Like, it's not what we look for, it's not what we go for, and it's very different. And so I called him. I was like, I'm just gonna give you a heads up of like, you are allowed to not like this, you are allowed to not get it, and I'd rather you tell me that than
Right.
like pretend and just go along with it. Like, you're not gonna hurt my feelings. Probably you will hurt my feelings because I'm a girl, but but I'll get over it and I'll go find somebody else. But I don't want to like force you to do something that you're not into.
Yeah.
So anyway, so I sent it to him, and he, of course, he just laughed at me like, you're overthinking the crap out of this. And but the more I talked about it, he was like, oh, this is not a honky tonk record. And I was like, no, it's not. And so anyway, I sent the music over, and he's just like, listen, I know this is not what we normally do. He's like, but this is real and this is authentic, and he's like, people are hungry for that, and he's like, let's do it.
Yeah.
So it may only be my dad that listens to my record, but I'm like, as long as I know that I put myself out there and I told my story, that's all that matters at the
Yeah,
end
and I
of the
think
day.
you'll be pleasantly surprised. Like, usually those records that you make, and you're thinking, all right, if my family is the only ones that listen to this,
Yeah.
I'll be happy.
Yeah.
And generally, I feel like that comes from a place of authenticity. It's like,
Yeah.
the only people that matter to me are going to listen to this and like it.
Yep.
And generally, everybody else kind of follows suit. And
I hope, yeah.
what you think that maybe only your family would really get behind, maybe
Yeah.
that's the most authentic stuff you've done so far, and people are going to
Yeah.
see that authenticity, and they're going to gravitate towards it
Yeah.
more than they ever have, just because they see where you're at, and
Yeah.
they appreciate that. And I think you'll probably have a whole new crop of fans that comes up because of it.
Yeah.
And then I'd be shocked if like your current fan base didn't just love it and move right along with you, just
Yeah.
because I think most fans, to your point about like the George Straits and the Elvises of the world that were so mysterious, like, we're not in that era anymore, and there's very few artists that can maintain that mystery and then still have
Yeah.
success. Now it's like, all right, we need access into every aspect of your life. And it's
Totally.
like, if you've been good at doing that, and feeding your fans and giving them what they want, I'm sure they want to see, all right, what does she got going on with her child? What's her
hair look like
fiance
today?
doing?
Right. Yeah.
And I think people are more interested
Yeah.
in that stuff than we actually even think about.
Yeah, I'm guilty of it.
Because like
Yeah.
I don't when I listen to our music or when I critique something we're doing, I don't listen to it through the same lens as I'm listening to, or I don't see it through the same lens as I'm seeing something else, or
Yeah.
I don't hear things through the same way. I'm not as critical, and I'm a totally different listener when it's somebody else's music versus mine. It's like I need to
Yeah.
adopt that when I'm listening to my own music.
That's
or
a
our
really
own
good
music.
point. Yeah, that's a really good point.
But it's hard to do. It's hard
It's
to
hard
be
to do.
objective and not think about
Yeah.
all of your, the personal things that are clouding your mind and stuff
Yep.
that, you can't get out of your own way sometimes.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think that's what's really harder than anything. It's like,
Yeah, the mind
okay,
game.
And, if you've had some success or things have been working for a certain amount of time, a certain way, it's like,
Yeah.
it's nerve-wracking trying to switch things up and do something that's not familiar,
Yeah.
just because that's what everyone else is doing. And I think we're
Yeah.
creatures of habit, and anything that's uncomfortable, most people are going to take the path of least resistance. But I think I've
Yeah.
found in anything, that's usually not the most rewarding path.
Totally.
And I think the path that
100%,
is
yeah.
is the most unexpected and oftentimes the most dangerous. The outcome
Scary,
is
yeah.
is far greater and far cooler than it,
Yeah.
if you had taken the easier path. So
Yeah.
that's just my perspective on it.
Yeah, I used to like be like really scared to like put it all out there because it's like, okay, well, what if you like really put your heart out there and like, and then people don't like it? Like that's
Yeah.
way more scarier than just like, you know, I don't know, just putting out something that you know is gonna work. But I don't know. I'm just at the place in my life. I'm like, but what if I never fully put my heart out there? Like that's scarier to me right
Yeah.
now than to not. So I don't know. I'm just really trying to take the pressure off of myself.
Yeah.
And just make something that I'm proud of. And I'll leave the marketing to the professionals.
Yeah.
And
There you go.
yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm guilty of thinking people care more than they do. Also.
Sure. Yeah.
Like, I'm not obsessing over
Exactly.
what Morgan's eating for breakfast this morning or
Exactly.
Luke Combs did last night.
Yeah.
Like, so why would
Luke definitely. But
But why would I expect, like, oh, if I put my music out there and it
Yeah.
becomes popular, people are going to now all of a sudden want to know things about me that I don't want to know about the biggest superstar on the planet.
Sure.
So it's just
Yeah.
weird, mind game that we play with ourselves.
Yeah.
And we almost
Totally.
talk ourselves out of probably what is the best move, in the moment. And
Yep.
we second guess and overthink. It's usually
Yeah.
if you just trust your gut, you're
Yeah.
better off. But it's easier said than done.
I know, and like us as creatives, I feel like it's easy to just like get in your head and
Yeah.
get in your own way, unfortunately.
Yeah. And then you look at the people that don't get in their head and aren't in their way, and they crash and burn and go on to the next thing. It's like
Yeah.
they don't even let the non-successes even
Exactly.
impact them even a little bit. It's
Yeah.
like it just rolls off their back like
Yeah.
water off a duck, and it's like I don't get it. I'm not that person, and
Yeah.
I can't not obsess over things. But I
Yeah.
mean, I'm so jealous of people that can just
Same.
like, oh, that didn't work, move on to the next thing. I'm like, no, like, well, think about all the time and energy and effort
Yep.
I put into that. It's like they don't even waste that extra energy thinking about why it failed. It's like, nope, on to the next thing. We're
Yeah,
gonna make
that's
this
a
bigger
good
and better.
point.
It's like I got to adopt that way of thinking, because if I don't, I think I'm always gonna make myself miserable and always overthink everything.
Yeah, but also it's like, but we care, and I think
Yeah.
that's where it comes from. And like at the end of the day, you're human, and it's so hard because it's like it's a business, but also it's like it's music. It's
Yeah.
like it comes from a place of love, and it's like even your team and everything that you have around you. It's like you can have boundaries, but like not really. Like
Yeah.
we're not in an office from 9 to 5.
Mm-hmm.
We're like living real life together, and
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I think that's what makes artistry and being in this
think that's what makes
business
it awesome,
so
yeah.
great.
Yep.
Because if there was a formula that worked for everybody, everybody would be doing it. And
Totally.
I mean, we're all still chasing fads and trends and
Yeah.
stuff because I think you need to.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, the world is our oyster. It's like we can literally go do whatever we want, and then yet we pigeonhole ourselves. And,
For sure.
Yeah, I guess we could sit and talk about it for hours and try to justify and rationalize, why we do what we do. But
Yeah.
I just feel blessed to wake up every day and be able to create and do things that fuel me and excite me.
Yeah.
That, a lot of people don't have that opportunity. A lot of
yeah,
people,
like hang out with me all the time.
Yeah, it's a dream come true.
So he's like, yes, I get to see Steven today.
It's like, oh, he's in the Mickey Mouse sweatshirt.
Oh,
Yes,
that's
I love when he wears that.
Perfect. This is perfect.
Do you guys coordinate outfits?
Oh, always. We're like, oh, you're wearing the Mickey Mouse sweatshirt too? I gotta take mine off. Dang it.
We to a point have for photo shoots for sure. Like
Kinda have to.
Let's not both wear a blue shirt and a red hat or whatever.
Yeah.
We kind of both have like a uniform though that we kind of stick to and have for a
Sure.
while. Like,
His is more like that. Mine's more like this.
yeah, I'm more like the plain, solid color, earth tone guy. It's
It
like,
looks great in
like I
green.
never have to worry about wearing a shirt on stage twice because it never says anything on it. So I can
Sure.
wear the same thing 5 nights in a row, and people be like, "Oh, it was 5 years
Ah,
apart."
sometimes I wish I was a dude. That's amazing.
I don't. Yeah.
And then also you run into like people are like, "Oh, you know what Eric's gonna be wearing? Jeans and a t-shirt." Like,
Hey,
so,
if it's not broke.
hey,
Yeah.
it works for me.
There you go.
I don't. Wear,
I got into this business so I didn't have to wear a suit or dress up
There you
every
go.
day, so.
Yeah.
I like to wear things that make me happy inside.
Yeah.
And by default, it makes other people happy because it's usually
love
pretty
it.
crazy and eclectic. And people are like,
I got
"Oh,
this on
that's a
eBay."
vibe.
I got this on eBay though. I mean, I'm not super into Mickey Mouse, but
Steven's on a Christian tour right now, and like I guess they woke up in some city the other day, and he had this full on like pantsuit, like jacket matching thing, and whoever it was just posted, "This is a vibe,"
and they're like, wow, we really love that. I'm like, oh, you do you? I was like, well, next time we come out, now that I know that, I will bring my real wardrobe.
Oh my
It was the only thing I brought that was like
there's a lot of onesies.
Yeah,
and,
I was like, I might even bring my onesie
exciting
collection.
clothes.
I got enough for everyone on this bus and that bus.
So you style, you guys, when y'all have a...
We do
Oh yeah,
ourselves,
like I
yeah.
mean, if you ever seen me in like a mascot outfit or you know,
Right.
a hot dog onesie, it was styled by
Oh,
him.
it was styled by
Oh,
Steven.
wait, were you asking like for like photo shoots and stuff?
Uh-huh.
Well, we've done it before where they like pay someone to like do it, and I'm like, bro, that I like less than half of these options,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I would never wear that or that. So like, and we're like, just give us the money, we'll go buy it
Sure.
now,
Yeah.
because it was always like, I don't know, but we did it a few times. And it doesn't, the photo shoot's not any better or any worse than I like to go buy. Because,
Yeah, it's just recoupable now.
Right.
You know, so,
yeah, I'll go buy the stuff that I'm going to actually wear again.
Yeah.
But now, if I were to go back and do it all again, I would spend every dime of the label's money that I possibly could.
Yeah,
Interesting.
saving money for, no, it's not saving the money, dude. We didn't.
Right, oh, if we don't spend money on this, we'll recoup faster. Like, oh, well, we didn't realize. Oh, you spent an extra 3 hours in the studio that day. Oh yeah, we're gonna bill you an extra $100,000, so you'll never recoup.
Oh my
Like,
gosh.
stupid shit like that.
Oh my gosh. I've never had a record deal, so I have no idea.
Not messing out
I've
on
had
much.
everything but the record deal.
Yeah,
But I've always just thought it was so fascinating, like, to maybe get like a wardrobe budget.
it was.
I mean, there
Awesome.
were some moments where it was great.
No, we
Like,
did have a couple that like they bring in stuff that I'm like, where'd you get that? It's like, oh, this boutique. I went down and like they spent like days looking for stuff. For
Yeah,
us.
you see like a price tag on something, you're like, "There's no way they spent that," and then you
Yeah.
see the budget after the whole thing, like, "Oh yeah, there is a way they spent $1,500 on a belt." Like,
Oh, stop it.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
like,
No.
I'm not picking out that one.
yeah.
Oh my god.
But I was like, okay, this is how much we had each for a budget. I only wore these T-shirts that cost like $15 each. I'm
Right.
taking that belt.
Right.
Yeah, that's how we would do it.
And
It
I
was
still
fun.
wear that belt to this day.
I love
Like,
it.
It's just cool vintage thing with the antique brass buckle on it. And
Nice.
So there's some good things that come out of it.
I tried to
Probably
steal
more bad.
Shania Twain's belt when I
Really?
was on Real Country. Yeah, because I wore the same belt as her one episode. And I tried to sneak it and it didn't work out.
Yeah,
But...
That's
pretty cool.
awesome.
How was that experience?
Oh, interesting.
Oh.
it was honestly, it was pretty cool in the sense of like we were all like kind of like the same level acts. That we all had our own music going on. We were all touring for the most part, and so it was a competition, but also at the same time like we were all just there to like get the exposure and
Right.
run with it, you know,
Like,
not
kind of showcasing
like
what you're already doing. As
Yeah,
opposed to,
not like
just
a-
give me a shot.
yeah, it wasn't like a karaoke competition thing, you know. It was just, yeah, we were all there for a mission, and we'd come to Losers and get drunk together, and you know, yeah, it was pretty cool, honestly.
cool.
Yeah,
Really cool.
it gave me a reason to start really touring. Like I was playing shows before, but like I had shook hands with my booking agent right before I got on that show. Didn't know I was going to be on that show. But it just gave him a reason to book me and to get out there. And
That's
so, yeah, it was pretty sweet.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Goal wise for your career moving forward, I mean, what's like your perfect scenario and
Yeah.
like how you see it unfolding like in your mind, and
Yeah.
then I guess what would you be okay with, kind of thing,
Like be okay with like settling for, or like
not
what's
necessarily
the...
settling, but if it were to go to a completely different direction than like what it is that you have in your mind as the perfect career for you, being a mom now, having done what you've done in the business,
Yeah.
and looking ahead, like, is there a specific kind of set of goals that you have and benchmarks and things you want to check off your list that would say, like, you'd be able to say, like, yep, that to me, like, I had a successful career and I can hang my hat on that. And
Yeah, I definitely want to win a Grammy. That's
Yeah.
like, you guys know, I mean,
yeah,
it's huge. So like that's pretty top of my goal list, and I want to tour profitably, and I want to play stadiums, and I want to do it at the highest level possible.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and I want to do it in a way that I'm proud of. What does that mean? I don't know that I can fully tell you at the moment,
Yeah.
but yeah, I I just want to do the damn
Yeah.
thing, you
Yeah.
know?
I
Yeah.
do know.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like you've worked your ass off. I mean, you put yourself in the right positions. I mean, I've enjoyed watching your career. I mean, I just was always friends with Alan
Yeah.
and Irv. So as soon as you guys all started working together, I was like, all right, Irv doesn't really take chances on many things. I was like, there has to be something
Sure.
special about her. So like, I've always just paid closer attention.
Cool. Thank
I think we
you.
did something at Nashville Palace one night,
Yep.
and you were on that bill with us, and that was, I think, my first time hearing you play just acoustic.
Yeah.
And that was more recently, but I was again just blown away. I was like, okay, I get it. I see what
Yeah.
they were trying to, or seeing what they saw,
Yeah.
and I mean, just it's always been fun to watch. And
Thank
I
you.
think your talent speaks for itself. I mean, with what we saw on stage out there that night,
That was awesome.
it just
Thank you.
incredible. And again, it wasn't like it was a slam packed room or anything. We all played like you were playing a stadium, and I thought
Cool.
that was
Thanks.
really cool that
Yeah.
y'all gave us that kind of energy, and people that can do that in that type of environment. I mean, I feel like you have staying
Yeah.
power, you have all the talent in the world. So I think
Yeah.
it's just a matter of time until I think you blow up and they're, up there with all the superstars. Because I mean, I think
Thanks.
you deserve to
Yeah.
be there, and I think your voice and what you have to say, your background, and it just all makes sense.
Thanks.
And I definitely see what they saw, and I'm excited to see what happens in the future.
Thank you. I definitely feel like I have a different level of confidence now that I didn't necessarily have before. Like, um, just being on the road for so long and just like really huffing and puffing and playing all the damn honky tonks that I could find
Yeah.
and playing to no one and playing to stadiums. And I think that was really valuable, and I'm proud of that. And part of me wishes I still could be out there running the roads right now. But I'm also really grateful for the position that I'm in of like, okay, let me just like really buckle down and write the best songs that I can, and reapproach this in a way that I'm in the driver's seat, because that's been the piece of the puzzle that I haven't quite done yet. I've always been like, tell me, I'm a golden retriever, like all the way. Like throw the ball, I'll go run and get it. Like I'll bring it back to you even better. Like I'll work my ass off. Like I'm not afraid of
awesome.
that. And so I always like relied on other people's opinions of like what I needed to be doing or whatever. And for the first time, I'm like, checking in with myself and
Yeah.
with Jesus, and being like, okay, is this where I'm supposed to be? Like, let's go. And I'm just like, Lord, if you want me to do this, if this is genuinely what I'm supposed to do, you got to put the songs in my heart, because like that's what it all starts with. And so and it's been a really cool journey having that mindset
Yeah.
so far, and it's not glamorous. And so sometimes it is kind of hard, like, watching my friends like do what I was doing before,
Yeah.
and being like, I know I'm gonna get back to that place, but in a way that makes sense for me and is even better. And so, and just like trusting the process for myself and believing that I'm gonna do what I came here to do.
Yeah.
So yeah.
You found it all that having a child has changed your opinion of yourself and what you're capable of?
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, it's like I don't there's something about pushing out a child that will just, I don't know. Not that I'm not insecure anymore. Like there's always going to be a certain level of insecurity, like I'm human. But like after I did that, I was like, "Oh, I can do anything." And like
Yeah.
little things that used to bother me, I'm like, psh,
Nah, it's nothing.
Yeah.
I got a kid to feed. Like my kid was in the hospital last week. This is not shit. Like I'm not gonna
Yeah.
stay up like worrying about this.
That's good.
So it's given me a superpower of like of perspective. And it's also just like, I don't know. It's made me like really step it up in a way that like I want my kid to be proud of one
Yeah.
day. you know.
That's cool.
Yeah. I don't want to just do this just to say I did it and I had a dream. It's like, no, I want him to be like, yeah, that was my mom,
Yeah,
you know.
that's cool.
So, yeah.
Yeah, and a different like kind of take on that. Like I've been like when my oldest son came to me the other day and was like, "Hey, you gonna be able to take me to this? Are you gonna
Yeah.
be at this game? Or
Yep.
you gonna?" And I looked at my schedule. I was like, "Crap, I'm not gonna be able to go to that or that." And
How is that?
I didn't
Is
tell
that
him
rough?
at that moment, but like I had to like really sit there and think about, okay, how can I tell him that I'm not gonna be able to do this when I know that that's something that really matters to him.
Yeah.
Yet I'm thinking, okay, well, if I go do this, if I do this, I'm going to give him the opportunity to 5 years from now, I'll have the money so he can play on this team and
Yeah.
get trained by this guy. And like
Yeah.
I'm thinking that way. And the only thing that matters to him is that I care enough to show up and not do something else and go
Yeah.
support him like at that game. So instead of like me figuring out how I can tell him that I'm not going to be able to go, it's like, no, I spent that time figuring out how I can rearrange my schedule
Cool.
to be able to go do that. Because I do remember like
Yeah.
looking up and not like my dad was incredible. He came to almost every single game, but it's weird. I can count and remember the 5 times and the 5 games he didn't come to.
Isn't that weird?
Not because he was doing
As a
anything
kid,
wrong.
like your
it was
mind just like
yeah.
latches on to those like 1 or 2 times that your parents weren't there, and it's like, but there were so many times that they were there.
Yeah, he was there literally every time. It's more than
Yeah.
any other parent probably.
Yeah.
But like
Yeah.
just the fact that he had set that precedent and then I came
Yeah.
to expect that, and it was like I knew if I was nervous, if I had a moment I got scored on
Yeah.
and was feeling down, I could look up and see my dad smiling at me, giving me a thumbs up, and like that made everything better in that moment. So when I didn't have that there those few times, it was like,
Yeah.
oh, now I have to figure out how to soothe myself and calm myself down.
Yeah.
So it's like I don't, even if I'm being super purposeful about everything I'm doing, it's like I don't want to disappoint my child in that way.
Mm-hmm.
And thinking about the fact that me trying to give him things that I didn't have is still not going to impress him. It's not going to do anything really for him. But if he sees me there and he knows that I care about him and I'm there in that moment,
Yep.
that means everything. So I've kind of had to rethink all of that.
That's
And
awesome.
but it's a really cool place to be also. And then you almost, it takes the guesswork out of a lot of things. Like you don't have to put as much pressure on yourself to be successful, because my version of success probably means jack shit to my son.
Oh, that's a really cool way to look at it. That's a really cool way to look at it. Yeah.
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 And like I try to think about like what I would have felt if I was that age, and
Yeah.
like what was cool to me back then and what my dad probably thought was cool to him, and he thought he was killing it, which he
Yeah.
did. He was an amazing father.
Yeah.
Still is. And I wouldn't change a single thing that he had done, but it's like I can still look at those little things and remember what I remember about it and maybe do something slightly different. So.
Yeah.
But again, it's like it changes your perspective and how you approach everything in life, and in
Yeah.
you know, in your career, your friendships, you know, just things that you prioritize over other things. It's like
Yeah.
you have such a fragile little mind and a little soul and human here that you can shape in so many different ways.
Yeah.
And it's a huge responsibility.
It is huge. I know. I like sometimes I get a little down because like I used to just live down here in Green Hills and like had all of these friends and we'd bebop, like go to the bar on a Tuesday night, and like I had this community, and you know, now I'm like 35 minutes from town, and I don't get to like just hang out anymore. Like that whole like the friendship like part of my life is like definitely on the back burner for me at the moment, and like sometimes I'll get down about that, which I have my best friend back home, but she's like, you know, 10 hours away. And so that definitely keeps me sane, but also I'm like, you know, this is just the season of life that I'm in, and one day I'll be able to have wine nights with the girls.
Yeah.
And you know, it's not going to always be this way, but it's just, it is what it is right now. And if I wasn't pursuing this career and I was just staying home with my baby, then I would have that. But like, that's just like a sacrifice that I make. And if I'm going to choose between like go and have a wine night and hanging out with my son, it's, you know, probably not going to be the wine right now, even though sometimes that
Sometimes you might need it.
sometimes I might need it.
Yeah.
Yes. To stay sane. So,
Exactly.
yeah, but no, like my dad, I know that he kind of regrets like not being there as much now, that we're older. I mean, my parents like both came from nothing and like built a pretty successful business in South Louisiana. Shout out Billy's Studio. And, But like I don't remember that. Like I just
Yeah.
remember like my parents worked so hard and I saw us go from the trailer park to the trailer on the piece of land to like them building their own house. Like I remember them working so
Yeah.
hard, and I remember like both my mom and my dad just being so intentional about like building their business and also being there for us at the same time. So, yeah, I don't know.
You mentioned like seasons of life,
Yeah.
and like before you even mentioned that, I was thinking about getting to this season of life and this stage of life.
Yeah.
Like I finally feel like I understand what people were talking about 10, 15 years ago when they talked about seasons of life, and I never really got it. I was like, oh, like okay, from that record to this one kind of season, like okay, we're just in a different phase of our career. But it's
Right.
like you really truly things happen in your life. There's experiences, there's heartbreak, there's
Yeah.
trauma, there's extreme highs and extreme lows, and it's like,
Yeah.
oh, that's what the season is that you're talking about. And I think it's like when you completely change your perspective on how you approach things, how you see things, how things impact you, and how you internalize things and deal with these emotional things that you've maybe in this previous season of life you were not equipped to deal with.
Yeah.
Certain things. And I think that it's just cool to mature and grow, not necessarily getting more mature, but just experience and experiencing things in life that someone that's 20 years old just inevitably can't have had an experience with up until this point in their life. And then you have this
Totally.
one event that happens and changes how you approach everything that you do. And like I'm just grateful, I guess, to now understand that phrase more so than I ever did. And like, oh, okay, it's not
Same.
just a slight change, it's like a real true shift. I'm living my life this way now in this season, whereas before I was a completely different person, probably incapable of living this way. So
Yeah, and I think in this business you feel like you see the people like doing it at the highest level and it just seems like it's always go 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 go, which maybe it is for them, but I do know that it's possible from just like watching certain people's careers to like make the record, do press, tour, and like kind of dip and repeat that process and like truly live in seasons. And I think that would be my goal is to like have a life and a career at the same
yeah,
time.
I definitely agree,
Yeah.
because it oftentimes feels like you don't have that any separation, because one thing just steamrolls and snowballs into the other, and it's like
Yeah.
at some point you feel like you're just holding on for dear life.
Yes.
Like, okay, don't let me get flung off this thing.
Right.
And you can't really be all that purposeful because you don't even know what's happening next. And you're
Exactly.
just like, oh shit, here it comes. Like, hold on. And it's a wild thing.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's a normal thing, because any other business, if there was that much uncertainty, you'd call it quits
You do something
way
else
sooner.
real quick. Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
And I think there's also like this false kind of, I don't know if the word's pretense or whatever, but it's like you think, okay, if I can get a record deal, if I have my publishing deal, if I have an agent, if I have all this, that it's all going to be perfect, and my team's
Yeah.
always just going to be this, fine-tuned machine. And even if you have all those pieces, it's never that. And I think the grass is always greener until you get to the other side, and you're like, okay, if
Yeah.
I had just watered the grass on that side, it would be just as green as this now brown patch I'm standing in now.
I'm so glad that I've learned that lesson before entering into a record deal. Yeah, because I've just seen so many of my friends like get the deal and expect it to change their life, and it's like no, it's still the same
Yeah.
amount of work.
Now you're almost the
even
same
more.
amount of work, and now you
Sounds
have to
good,
navigate more
kinda.
bullshit.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Because I don't know. I guess the old school way of thinking is like you get the record deal and it's like cool, my life is gonna change,
Yeah.
and it's like not the case at
Well,
all.
it used to be like, okay, you're not going to sign me unless you have a plan to put out music,
Mm-hmm.
because what else am I other than an anchor at that point?
Sure.
It's like you need me to make you money at some point. But now people, it's like they just sign stuff just to see what's going to happen. It's like, all right, well, she's pretty good. Let's sign her just
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
to keep her off the
Other
the
label.
market. So in case something happens, now we'll be here to capitalize on that.
Yeah.
And people go into these deals thinking, all right, I'm going to sign this, and I'm next on the roster to get to radio, and then they never even get a single at radio, and it's it really shot your career in the foot,
Yeah.
without ever getting out ahead of anything. And I think the beauty of the business being so different. I mean, there's a million ways to skin a cat, and there's a million ways to get to the top now. And I think we're seeing lots of different artists do it all kinds of different ways. I mean, I was telling Steven, I'm enjoying doing this podcast and interviewing people that
Y'all are killing it with this podcast, by
you.
the way. It's awesome, and you're both so good at it.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
I
and
mean,
it's
I just enjoy it.
yeah,
It's like young people in their 20s, like it's like, okay, I could sit here and think, well, I did it my way and I've had success, so you tell me why I should do it your way instead of the way I'm doing it.
Yeah.
But it's like, I've gotten so much advice, I've learned so much from people not even realizing it, like, but almost asking questions in a way like, all right, well, how are you approaching this? And then the same artist is approaching that same exact thing completely different. Y'all are both having, mad success doing it, and there's no cookie cutter thing that's working for one guy or the other. And
Interesting.
It's really inspiring, I think, to see how creative some of these young artists are having to be, because there is so much music out there, and there are so many artists that are trying to do it because there are platforms out there that allow them to do it. And it's fun to be able to pull some stuff from here, and then take with us what's worked for us and put to bed the stuff that didn't work.
That's awesome.
But yeah,
awesome.
we're having a lot of fun with it, and again, learning more than I ever thought I would, because you kind of come into it with a little bit of an ego, thinking, oh, I'm going to be able to consult and give these kids some advice. It's like, no, I'm learning way more than they're learning from me. I guarantee that.
That's awesome. That is so cool. Because, I mean, y'all are doing it and have done it for a long time. And so it's like, it's cool for me to be like, oh my God, like 10 years ago, I was driving to Beaumont, on a blind date to go watch these guys. I love that first record. So, I mean, I love all your music, but like that first record, I was your demographic for sure.
Nice.
Thank you.
Yes. And, so I don't know, just for me to be able to like sit down and talk with you guys is, blowing my 21-year-old mind right now.
What's the name of the new song you just put out?
So I just put out an EP. It's called Half a Mind.
Happy Mind?
Half a Mind.
Half a Mind, sorry.
Yeah.
Nice. And you did this with Trent?
I did, yeah. The music is 2 years old.
Okay.
And I recorded it all while I was pregnant. I think I was 7 months pregnant, singing all of this stuff. And I was like,
cool.
Go ahead, girl. You still sounded good and you're 7 months pregnant.
Yeah.
So that's fun. But yeah, just, the shifts in my career, it just kind of made it a little bit harder to get it out in the world in a timely manner. And the fact that it's here is truly a miracle.
Yeah.
So
well, it's cool. You've done it on your time and on your terms. And again, there's not many people that can say that. I think so many people are so desperate just to do it and get it out, and they don't think about any of the other stuff that goes with it. So for you to be able to have the stress of a child, but then also show that patience and do it on your terms is pretty cool and very inspiring. So
thanks.
Kudos to you for that.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Nice. Well, we appreciate you coming on today.
Well, thanks for having me. This is awesome.
Awesome.
You're
catching
lovely.
up with you and hearing your story.
Thank you.
Awesome. Kylie Frey, check her out.